Hey guys, welcome back to JohnBCom channel. We are here with another Infinity Bat Rep. What you got right in front of you is my Jing 150 point demo list consisting of a Domaru Butai, 3 Zanshis, a Haramaki, a Shang-Chi Invincible, and a Keisatsu. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail right now, but the army list will be in the description area, so go ahead and feel free to plug it into the Infinity Army Builder.
Yep.
And you can take a look at what we're playing. This is actually a test run. We're play testing this list. I don't know if we're going to be using it for Southern Front, but this list is going up against the Aleph list from before, with one addition, which is a net rod, which we're using this model right there to represent for the time being. 4 Myrmidons, one of them is the Myrmidon Officer Lieutenant, and a Sophotek. Again, the army list for this list will be in the description area. Feel free to take a look. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is the playing field right now that we're going to be using. It's quite a bit different, much higher terrain, which honestly, after my road trip to Texas, I found is kind of critical for this game to kind of minimize just how potent the sniper is. But in these two armies, we don't have a sniper, but it still adds a little bit of panache. We'll use panache.
Seems like it works.
Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and start the game off with the normal roll-off using the willpower of each lieutenant.
Willpower is 14.
Mine is a 13.
Uh-oh.
Rolled a 15.
Roll an 8. That means I'm winning.
Oh, and with me today is Ian, who was with us for the last Bat Rep.
Last bat rep.
The first Bat Rep, the only Bat Rep thus far.
Okay. Alright. Something's behind on uploads. Whatever. I'll go ahead and take first turn and let you decide who's dealing with deployment. So I'll take choice of turn.
Okay, I'm actually going to deploy first, and I want that side.
That side?
Alright.
That's gonna, you're gonna get 4.
I'm done deployment. I'm going to go ahead and have you guys take a look at how I deployed. So, Haramaki is right there. I have Zanshi up here and here. Again, kind of trying to provide a little bit of cover, not knowing how the Aleph are going to approach. I have a Domaru here. And I don't even know if you guys can see that. Yeah, okay. So I have a Domaru here. And he's facing one direction, I have another Zanshi facing the other direction. Again, one of these 3 have to be my lieutenant. Up top, scooting up here. Up top, I have my Zanshi, or no.
Yeah, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
That's another Zanshi.
That's my
Keisatsu over there.
Keisatsu. So clarification: Zanshi, 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 Domaru, Keisatsu, Haramaki, and my.
Kind of clever. If I want to go to a limited lieutenant first, I have to split.
Well,
Little trickeration.
It's pretty tricky.
it's not usual, because a lot of times I've seen most people, when they play with a lieutenant that you don't know who it is, they kind of keep them a little bit closer together. But then put like heavy duty firepower in the line of fire so you can't approach. But this terrain doesn't really allow for that. One of the things we added to the Aleph list was a net rod, and net rods come in through airborne deployment.
Yep, combat jump specifically. So I'll go ahead and explain that. So what you need to do when you're airborne deploying a model is you find a flat space on the table, and you're going to place down one of these round templates. And it has to be an area that's not covered by terrain. So, for example, I couldn't just put it right there because I can't lay that template flat. It's sitting on top of all those walls. I could put it somewhere like that, because that way the template lies flat without touching any walls. You can see there. So right now what I'm doing is thinking about where I want my net rod to be, because my net rod can't do anything once he's on the table. He combat drops in, but it's basically like kicking a TV out the side of a shuttle while it's flying over the battlefield. It's a 4-point order that I can use on my other stuff. So I'm thinking somewhere over here looks good.
Let's see if we can see that. Okay, so he's put him right there. Now, can you put it anywhere on the board?
Yes, because that's part of combat jump.
Okay.
You can put it anywhere on the board as long as it lies flat without, you know, touching any walls or scenery.
And guys, for 4 points, this is a great deal that the Aleph have to gain some extra quick orders.
Well, it's debatable because they have to combat jump in, which means they have to roll on their pH stat. And their pH stat is only a 12, which isn't spectacular. So odds are decent that they could just roll off the table entirely, and then you're out an order. But it was only 4 points.
It was only
to begin
4
with.
points.
But you are out an entire order. Some people would rather just have another functioning model on the table to provide them an order and maybe be able to crit something if they need to in a clutch moment.
But my 8-point Keisatsu is not truly a functioning model.
I would argue that he can be.
Okay, well,
He's more functional than a net rod.
that's true.
He's not as functional as an order sergeant, but he is more functional than a net rod. So when you're doing the airborne deployment like this,
Let me go ahead. I'm going to move the camera over so you don't have to move it.
Okay. Cool. When you're doing airborne deployment like this, you have to pay attention to the numbers around the template. So when you're doing airborne deployment, you have to pay attention to the numbers that are around the template. Wherever you're placing the template, for airborne deployment, you always place the 1 pointing towards the center of the table. And then we'll go, so for example, we'll just go ahead and do this. So I want my net rod to be about there. That way it's sort of against the wall and people are gonna have to come all the way around the building to get a shot at it. So I'm just gonna take this. I have to roll pH, and a pH on a net rod
It's a 12.
is 12, last time I checked. Helps to double check. Yes, 12.
But it makes
So,
a nasty looking demon print.
and that is a 9, so that's a success. He comes down right there. Now let's say hypothetically, I roll a 16 instead of that 9. So I've just failed it by a pretty significant margin. So what you do is you take the failure category, which is the difference between your roll and what your target value is.
In this example, it would be 4, which is 16 minus 12.
Yep. So you take that 4, and then you multiply it by 2.5.
Inches,
2.5 inches.
which ends up being 10.
10 inches in this case. This is 4. And so since I rolled a 16, I'm going 10 inches in the direction that the 6 is pointing on this template as it lies right now. So in that case, it would be 10 inches, and he would end up back here.
Trust us, guys. It's not such a bad thing. It would have been far worse if you rolled a 19 and it ended up here
On top of the roof, plain view.
plain view of my.
That's bad.
Yeah.
As it is, he lands successfully there.
Okay. So now you'll continue with the rest of your deployment.
This shouldn't take long,
Okay.
seeing how few models I have.
You know, I gotta admit, I really.
And the reason we're playtesting this particular list is based on what I've noticed about this game. This particular Jing list doesn't have a whole lot to handle the massive amount of ODD that the Aleph list has. So by playing this game out, we're kind of playtesting, seeing how close the game is, so we can determine whether or not this makes sense to put in a demo list for a demo game. To be fair, this much a straight line shot probably won't be in our demo boards that we take to competition.
Well, it's still pretty good because this guy, basically his line of sight sort of cuts off everyone around there, and you've got this wall blocking as well. There's this over here, but again, Myrmidons have smoke, so
Yeah.
we have ways of getting around it. Cool. So we're ready.
So run through your deployment real quick.
All right. Again, my net rod ended up right here. We have a Myrmidon with Spitfire, and then we have 3 Myrmidons with combi rifles, one of which is a Myrmidon officer lieutenant, and then we have the soft attack.
Which, if you guys remember from earlier discussion, the Sophitect is both an engineer and a medic. Would you have any reason to use an engineer in this list?
Engineers can restore things that have been EM'd. So
there you go.
If like your Haramaki with the Blitzen shoots one of my guys and knocks out his ODD, the soft attack can come and repair it.
There you go.
Thing with this one, these guys.
It'd be nicer if she had a Yudbot, but whatever.
Well, you know.
Those were only just released. That's where net runs, but whatever.
All right, make it happen.
Alright, combined army. Or not combined army. I play combined army mostly, so I'm used to saying that. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 orders. I'm going to spend an order. Myrmidon.
Hey, go for it. Who doesn't love guts?
Going to move. Straight up. Doesn't look like there's any. Oh, there's Anshi up top there.
Turn it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Turn it.
Is he gonna do anything?
That's gonna get you.
So, Zanshi's got a combi rifle.
Yep.
3, 4, 5, and still take 6.
And
11.
I'm going to shoot. You can declare your second order.
Okay. I'll go ahead and shoot back with my Spitfire.
Okay.
It's expected to change everything.
11. What's the range?
11 with the flamer.
So let me do.
Oh, totally worthless. I should have probably dodged.
Call it. Looks like 30.
Yeah.
I can't hit you. With -6 and then -6 for range.
Yeah, I start with the S11.
Well, combi rifle has
We need to reroll that.
-6 over 24, so that's -12.
Toughness 4. Okay.
Now, does a 1 always hit?
Toughness 4 too. So 4.
Is there any rule like that?
No, if the modifiers reduce your ballistic skill below 1, you can't make the shot.
Okay.
I have 4 shots.
Yeah, this is going to be brutal.
At -3 because it's just under 32.
Well, she's also in cover.
Yes, so that's -6. And then Myrmidon BS of 12. -6 is 6.
Yes.
3 and 1, 2 hits.
Wow. Now, the strength of that is what?
14.
Okay. And the Zanshi have an arm of 1, so I need a 14 or higher.
2 shots.
That's it.
And that one bites the dust.
All right, super dead.
Okay, but then you've got a bazillion.
Again, not quite convinced that this army can handle the Aleph.
That's all you need.
It's the super long range.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Spitfires shouldn't really be doing that well. It can happen. It's because I'm still on 6s and I rolled a 3 and a 1. Yeah.
No.
Typically, I was only expecting like maybe one of them. 1.
I need 4.
So I'm gonna spend another order.
A lot of force.
I'll need them.
He's going to move like this. So basically he moves up to the cover and then slides down alongside it, so he's in cover the whole time.
I think honestly, if you even ran straight across, I wouldn't have seen you until you were in base contact with the bow.
So, yeah, so does he have an arrow he wants to do?
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he'll fire.
Okay.
I like fire. Actually, wait a minute. No, he will dodge.
He'll dodge?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he's got decent pH.
pH of 14.
And I'm inside the 24-inch kill zone for the Spitfire.
Okay, I have 1, 2, 3.
That's 24.
Okay.
So I'm at +3 for range, -2 for cover, so I'm at straight 12. That's a 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is beaten by the 7. Okay. So you get hit once.
All right, and that is a strength what now?
Strength 14.
Strength 14. So you're this guy
+3 for cover, armor 4, +4 for armor. So you've got.
Oh, that's actually that would have been +3 for cover for her as well, right?
Yes.
It wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered because
I rolled an 8 and a 1.
8 and a
The 8
1.
probably may have.
8 + 4 is 12, which doesn't beat 14.
Okay.
So
Okay, so I get hit once.
you hit once, and you have +7 to your arm roll.
Okay, we'll do
Now, since I did make my PH, do I still get to move to at the end after I take this armor save?
No, because technically, even though you were under your target number, it was a face-to-face roll. Your dodge roll was face-to-face with my shots, and the 7 beats 4.
Okay, so 7, effectively total armor save of 7 against a 14. I need a 8 or higher.
You need an 8 or higher to pass.
okay, and then 2s.
I rolled an 18. All right, so you have passed, which means now you take a guts roll. Or you can choose to fail, which means you'll move out of line of fire or move to cover.
Great, like space.
So the easiest way to do that, either you get 2 inches of movement to go back around there, or drop prone, or you can just make a willpower roll to stay where you are.
Hell of a lot of shots.
I'm gonna drop prone.
Okay.
So effectively, this guy is the height of his base. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Okay, so
I'll just go ahead and put a marker by him.
So this guy is the height of his base, which means he cannot be targeted at this point.
let's see. We'll change them. This
Orders left.
5 with
So I'm gonna go ahead with this guy and move.
So there we go. So there's 2 groups. All right.
I'll show you guys what's going on. I don't have line of sight.
Yeah. So that looks like big fat nothing. So he's going to move.
Okay, still don't.
Let's put him.
Move. And
Maybe not.
doesn't look like any arrows.
Oh, yeah. You roll this half.
Do we want to do?
This time they're perfect. They do have a bolt of
We'll go ahead and move to there.
Changeling does not fire bolt.
Then I'm going to use a long order with this guy. He's going to go ahead and put a suppression fire corridor up over where the Zanshi was.
Okay.
So the Spitfire Merman is basically just going to set up a suppression fire corridor here. Because he knows he didn't get that guy. But if he pops back up, he wants to make sure that he's going to be able to.
4 guys.
Makes sense.
So it's basically, even though the dice are here, it's effectively at this height, the height of the ridge. Because stacking dice like that is precarious.
Not with Breath of Chaos.
Well, you can leave it as is. Okay. Is that the conclusion of your orders?
That is the conclusion of the Aleph turn.
All right. So now we're gonna have the Jing army go.
So it's hitting here.
I did lose an order because one of my Zanshis died.
Okay, I'm trying to hit this, but I'm getting.
But you still have a pool, so I know that's not your lieutenant.
Yes, that is correct. And I have a Haramaki, so he's impetuous and must move to the nearest enemy.
Yep.
Which I don't think it matters. I think it's just in this direction. Would you agree?
Well,
with
it
that?
might be like straight around the corner.
Rather.
Actually, he doesn't quite make it with his first
With
move.
his first, so yeah.
Over here.
Does he want to do anything else?
Fire. One. No, I don't rapid fire.
Yeah, he's gonna keep going.
Okay.
He's gonna kind of hug the wall.
Okay. Seems good.
Nothing yet.
So I'm going to spend my first order. And while he's prone, he's going to go ahead and move.
Okay.
So when a character or when a model's prone, it moves at half distance.
So just gonna move 2 inches to go over there, so we don't have that whole line of fire at all anymore.
Nope.
Sounds good.
And he'll just stand up at this point.
Okay.
The second part of his order.
Look like any of us can see each other. No.
The next order is going to be spent on the Haramaki.
Okay.
It does not negate armor.
Who's going to hug this wall again.
So you're thinking of like demonic games. That's my AP. Okay.
And with his second part of his order,
Oh, they all die.
he's going to go ahead
Wow.
and
Like the dog.
move there.
6.
I'm trying to think. Can I see over this? I think yes.
Wow. So they're taking damage.
That's Pearson.
Depends. I'd have to see the height of the model.
Okay. Well, we're
So
gonna.
you can go ahead and try it first, and then I'll let you know.
No one can fire. He's dead.
Actually, he's gonna hug the wall there.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Okay. But I wanted to basically hug the wall to basically not allow
Not allowing me to shoot you.
yeah,
That's
cover,
over.
hang the wall. And he's just going to let go of the second part of his order.
Okay.
Now he's going to go ahead and spend another order.
Bottom of 2.
And he wants blood. So he's going to pop up right there.
He goes away.
And he's going to fire at you with his...
Actually, if you're not within
Contender.
He has a Blitzen and a...
so that was probably
Contender.
down.
No,
does he have?
combi rifle.
Combi? Okay.
Yeah, but it's going to be the Blitzen.
Okay. So single shot.
So he's running away.
For those of you guys who don't know, Blitzen is effectively an EM
Launcher.
rocket, right?
Sort of. I hesitate to call it a rocket just because rockets are their own thing.
Yeah.
But it's basically a two-shot disposable EM projectile thing.
So you can kind of see what's going on. This Haramaki is firing at that guy that's or the Myrmidon that's back there. The distance is 13 inches, right?
It's more like 14 and a half, call it.
Okay.
Which is fine for the Blitzen because
Yeah.
it's got like Panzerfaust range.
Yeah,
I believe.
+3.
Yeah.
Plague bearers.
And the Haramaki has a BS of 13.
13. So you're at +3 for that, -6 for ODD.
So I'm down to 10.
So you're down to
Wound on anybody.
yep.
And then down
And then
to
-3 for cover.
7
Yep.
for cover.
So down to 7, and I'm shooting back at you just at +3 -3, so 12.
But that means you lose your...
yes, the corner breaks.
Right.
So take that.
Basically keep rolling for cover.
Yeah, well, no, that was actually his.
I miss on a 20.
I missed 2 with another one.
Cool.
But that was really what I needed to have happen anyway.
Break the corridor. Yep. Right.
So at this point, I'm going to spend another order. This guy's going to pop back over here. And I'm sorry, I keep forgetting his name.
The Shanji.
The Shanji is going to scoot back over there and fire down the corridor towards your Myrmidon.
Okay. So I can either shoot at 12 or dodge on 13s.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and dodge.
Just move into
Okay.
another squad.
As long as I'm within. If I'm
Do you have an extra dodge?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're shooting at +3 -3, then -6.
Right, so a net total -6.
Yep. BS is 13 in Shang-Chi again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep, 13. So, firing at 7.
7.
Crit and
Well, that'll deal with that. So
an armor save.
arm roll passes, so he's merely unconscious.
Okay.
So I'll just keep a marker by him,
We might have to move, but it's the
but I'll turn him around. Just I don't want to lay his miniatures on their side.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I can see those arm. Part of the instrument. That's not really part of it.
And I think for my last order, I am going to set up. Need to take a look at this from eye level. I'm going to set up a suppression corridor that goes to right here underneath the building.
Okay.
Range.